Greetings, everyone. My name is Rishita Mudana, and I'm a graduate student at the president of the School of Data Science at University of North Carolina, Charlotte. I would like to welcome you all to the sixth annual Charlotte Women in Data Science virtual conference hosted and sponsored by UNC Charlotte School of Data Science and Lobes Inc. The Women in Data Science Charlotte Conference initiative aims to inspire and educate data scientists across the region, regardless of gender, and to support women in the field. With the current state of the world mainly interacting online, we are grateful for your decision to attend our 2-day virtual event and show your support for our various speakers. I would like to extend a special thanks to all our attendees for showing up and showing your support. I'm happy to introduce our speaker for the hour, Flora Tran, a data scientist in Red Ventures since 2019, who has been focusing and exploring different data science solutions to optimize digital audience engagement prior to becoming a data scientist. On becoming a data scientist, she worked in risk consulting for 6 years in financial service industry. Please welcome Flora Tran.
Hello, everyone. Let me share my screen. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the session. My name is Flora Tran. I'm a data scientist with Red Ventures. So today I'll be talking about how do we use natural language processing to understand reader sentiments on healthline.com. As the agenda, so I will touch on quickly brief introduction about who is Red Ventures, what does our data science team do within Red Ventures. Then we'll move on to the business problem, the solution, the challenges that we are facing, and then a few key takeaways to wrap up the session. I hope you will enjoy my talk. So let's start off with the overview of Red Ventures. So as per the Wall Street Journal, Red Venture is one of the greatest companies that you might not have heard of before. So Red Venture has been was founded in 2000 by Rick Elias and Dan Felston. And throughout the last 21 years, we have reached multiple milestones. In 2010, we reached 1,000 employees. In 2015, we were valued at $1 billion, becoming a unicorn. In 2017, we acquired Bankrate. If any of you might be looking for mortgages or refinance, you might have stumbled on Bankrate before. In 2019, we made two big acquisitions. One is with higher ed education, and the second one is with Healthline. And last year, 2020, when there was a pandemic, we actually expanding and did two acquisitions. One is with CNET, and the second one is Lonely Planet. So at the present day of today, we have around 3,500 employees worldwide. We have offices all over the world, in the US, in Europe, in Asia, like London, Singapore, in South America with the Brazil office, and even in Australia too. So now you might have asked, what does Red Venture do? What is our business here? So we have two sides of our business. First is that we own and operate our own website, meaning that we do everything from the beginning to the end. We have the website, we generate the content, we manage everything from the beginning to the end. And second, we are also partnering with leading brands to help them to grow their digital footprint. So if you look here, all of the brands that are shown on top. So for example, here, as you might have heard before, so Bankrate, Lonely Planet, The Point Guide, creditcards.com, all of these websites, they are the website that Red Ventures own. We own this website. A few more examples is like CNET, Choose Energy, Use Switch, My Move, Healthline, All Connect or Reviews. That is the first side of our business. The second side is that we partner with different with leading brands to grow their digital footprint. So those are a few examples. Is we partnering with American Express, AT&T, Novant Health, Verizon, Frontier. So this is Red Ventures. So next, I will talk about our data science team within Red Ventures. So the mission of the data science team in Red Ventures has three main missions. One is we want to build data science solution that will be adopted widely by the business in the company. The second, we want to bring value to our consumer as well as to our partners. And lastly, we want to contribute to the bottom line of Red Ventures, to the profit. We want that. So how does our data science team structure within Red Venture? So the way Red Venture structure, we structure by vertical. So Red Venture as a whole company, you have multiple vertical underneath it. So you have a health vertical, education, financial services, home, digital, and I think around 10 to 15 more verticals in there. And me, I'm a data scientist within the health vertical. And so in each of the vertical, you have a data scientist team. And these data scientists will be working on the problem that are specific to the vertical. And then on top of all of this vertical, we have a central platform team here. We have a data scientist here too. And what does this team do? They develop solutions that can be used across multiple vertical. So a solution that will be used in health, in education, in home, in digital. As a data scientist in the team, we are encouraged to rotate from vertical to vertical and into the central team, so that we learn about the business and we can make network and meet new people within the company. So I really like this about Red Ventures. Then so what are we focusing in here, like data scientists? What do we trying to do? Three things. We want to first understand our customers. Second, we want to optimize the content. Third, we want to optimize marketing decision and customer interaction. And for the business case that I'm talking about today, we'll be focusing on the first one, how to better understand our customers, how to use that and drive more value to Red Ventures. And that brings us to the topic, the key thing that we are talking about today, how to gain insights from the user feedback on healthline.com. So what does it mean? So let's first start off with, what is Healthline, right? So Healthline, Healthline is the #1 health and wellness brand online. That it provides hundreds and thousands of high quality and informative articles for people who care about health and wellness. I'm sure that probably some of you might have stumbled across Healthline before. So for this, in order to attract a very loyal audience to the website, our editors team has to generate hundreds of articles per day. And we have to make sure that those are high quality and bring informative information to our readers, right? So after someone read an article, that person will have a chance at the end of the article to leave some comments in the end. Like the person can tell us about their personal experience, the impact on their lives, or whatever they have in their mind, and put in these comments, and we actually capture it and store it within our database. Okay, and every month the user leave around 10 of thousands of comments, which is quite a lot, and it has been growing. This number has been from last year when we first started out with the project, and now the number has been growing a lot more. And what do we do with these comments? I know that like this is on every website or articles or news, you have all these comments. You just don't know what do people do with those. So what do we do? Currently, before. So maybe let's take a few examples of what are these user feedback might look like. So a user might give us a feedback such as, it made me feel that I'm not alone. I now have an idea of what I can do to make it out of the situation I'm trapped in. It gave me hope, and somehow I feel confident things will change. So this person read the articles and feel that the article has made some impact on that person. And we really value this kind of feedback. It makes, okay, maybe we should have more of the article that's similar to this article and help people in their life, okay? Another one is maybe someone leave this. I always return to your website for comprehensive and well-researched information about health. Thank you. All right, so this reader, this audience, they like our website. They like healthline.com. So this is good. This article is good. We should keep it. Okay. Another one, this is about conscious language. So I'm a Black female and I want to be respectful of all types of people. I have faced racial and gender discrimination I want to understand the proper terminology and language to be used to support my friends and those that I met. I want to do my part to make a positive difference. So this is about someone who want to learn more about a certain topic on the website. Another example of feedback we might receive is that it used a lot of technical names, but only actual food mentioned were turmeric and green tea. I'm not even sure what it's meant by green tea. Does it mean a specific plant? Does it include such green plants as lemongrass, basil, and mint? So meaning that this person read an article and probably there's something unclear within that article. Maybe if we receive such comment, we should go back to the article and make certain update to the article so that the information is clearer and it's easier for our audience to digest it. Okay. So how do we actually, like right now, how do we do with this comment that we received from the website? So right now, like last year, we had a team, like people, human, read through each of those comments and put a tag on those comments, like, hey, we had this comment here, this comment belongs to this article, and probably we need to make some change to it, and he gave it to the editor teams. So this is a very tedious process. It's unscalable, and the response like is delayed, meaning that a human has to read through each of these, categorize it, organize it, and send it to the editor. And there was some delay in there, and we don't want that. So when our data science team heard about this situation, we think, okay, this is an opportunity that maybe data science can come and help. Maybe we can help the editor team to have a more automated solution, a more scalable solution, and something that is real time. So we were working with the editor team and the business team, and we think, oh, maybe we can build a product that with the final look that maybe look like this. It might look like a dashboard like this, something that you can just have a glance through it, and you know what is going on right away with the current articles thing that we have on our website, and we can be able to find, like, dive right into the area that we think that need improvement here. So this will be very valuable to the business. So with that in mind, we need to build the actual engine to power this dashboard. Okay, and that brings us to the NLP sentiment models on user feedback. So we promise the editor teams and the business team that will be building them that dashboard. And in order to build that dashboard, we will start looking into building this model. And what does this model look like? At a high level, this is an NLP model. We call it an NLP model, okay? And then we talk with the editor and the business team, and we determine that, okay, they care about these 6 categories, whether a comment meant brand, whether the comment is meaning some impact to their life, have some suggestions, some personal experience, whether that comment is positive, whether that comment is negative, okay? So if we put this review, this comment, the feedback from the audience, I always return to your website for comprehensive and well-researched information about health. Thank you. If we put this review into the NLP model, the model will be able to spit out that this feedback mean brand, like it indicates something that that person like, and has some positive feedback about our brand, Healthline brand. So it's about brand, and it is a positive feedback. Okay, so now, so this is the high level concept that we want to build. So what are the challenges that we think that we're gonna encounter while building it? All right, so we have 3 main challenges. First, no labeled data. Second, we will have to deal with very high volume of feedback. And lastly, yes, the data science output are not very user friendly. So how do we tackle each of these challenge, right? No label data. What does it mean? Meaning that for each of a data science model, you need historical data, and then use that to predict the future, like to predict the new user that we are looking for. And we don't have that. We just have a lot of user feedback. We have thousands, millions of them, but we have no label. All right. So we need to label the data. Yes. However, for a model to work, we will need to label a lot of data, and I'm not really up to to that task. So we need to find an algorithm that can produce high accuracy with limited data points. Okay, that's a very tough challenge, and it took me a lot of time to go through different models and pick out what's the best one. Okay, second, for the high volume, right? So we receive new feedback every day, and my point of going to this project is I want to build something that it can be able to run by itself. I want to build something, I let it run, and I step away and I do something else. I don't want to spend I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5 years just to work only on one model. I don't want that. So I want something to run automatically. So I need to find a way to a monitoring mechanism to tell me, okay, whether the model is running fine, not fine, and I only need to pay attention to the model when something wrong happened. So that free me up for other tasks that I'm interested in. And lastly, for the unfriendly data science output, we'll create the Tableau dashboard, the same dashboard that I just showed you a few slides back. So this is the plan, grand plan. Now let's go on to the main thing. How do we what model? What is it that we are trying to build? What is the model? The key thing. So first, I know that I've mentioned natural language processing for a few slides now. So what is natural language processing? I'm glad that you asked. So in modern machine learning, natural language processing referring to embeddings. You may have asked, what is embeddings? So embedding is a learnable data representation that map high-dimensional data into a low-dimensional space so that the information relevant to it is still being preserved. Okay, so what does it mean? Like all the words. Another way to explain this is we have our English vocabulary. I say, I don't know, I'm not an expert, but say like we have 10,000 words in our vocabulary. So meaning that we have a dimension of 10,000, we have a space of 10,000 dimensions. Each word is one dimension, okay? And here I take an example of king, queen, man, and woman, okay? I put it through an NLP model, a natural language processing model, and supposedly I can condense that 10,000 space into a 3-dimensional space here, so that in a way that it can still show the difference between man and woman is the same as the difference between king and queen. So that is natural language processing. So our task here is to find an NLP model that's performing best for our use case. How do we find it? Okay. So now let's take a step back and look at the history of NLP. So NLP has a very long history. It has been studying in the 1950s, but then starting in 2001, they started to have the concept of neural language model. But all the way to 2015, 2013, within that 13 years, there was not much of improvement. Why? Because language is a very complicated topic, and we just don't have enough compute engine to have any breakthrough within this period. And then we starting having all the cloud thing like Google Cloud, AWS, all of those that can improve our compute engines and let us to have breakthrough in this area. So with this, in 2013, we started having word embeddings. And all the way to 2018, which is 3 years ago, we started having sentence embedding model. Like all these are pre-trained model. So you might have asked, what is the difference between word embeddings model and a sentence embedding model? Okay. So a word embeddings here, think word as king, queen, man, woman. Those are words. Those are your vocabulary. And because they are words, they are complicated. But they are not as complicated as a whole sentence. A sentence can be 10 words putting together in a certain orders, whatever, and it can have different meaning depending on how you organize it. Okay. So for a words embedding model, the output will be between 100 and 300 dimensions. Okay. But for a sentence embedding model, it will have to be more than 500 dimensions so that it can capture the meaning of the whole sentence. And here our use case is the feedback, as you see in the example that I showed before, it was like 2, 3, 4, 5 different sentences putting together. And we need to find a way to capture those, all of the information, all of the richness within that feedback and translate it into the output that we want to do. Okay. So I've done a lot of due diligence and tried many different NLP model available, either pre-trained model outside, or I developed my own model. But then in the end, it all comes down to BERT. It's a bi-directional, I forgot what it stands for. So it's called BERT, and it's a pre-trained model developed by Google. And this model has been trained on the book corpus and the English Wikipedia corpus. And it used the transformer with attention mechanism so that it can help with the final product. Okay. So how do we use BERT here? Now let's just take a step back from this thing. Let's think of our regular life. So me, I'm not from the US. I am a foreigner. I don't speak English when I was born. So for me to come to the US, first I have to learn general English. Like, my name is Flora Tran, I'm a data scientist. I do this, I do that. I'm presenting today. So those are general English. I need to learn those first. So this is BERT. And there are many ways to learn a language. You can learn it by talking to different people, or you can learn it through reading a lot of books. You can learn it by doing a lot of exercise, watching a lot of different ways. And each of the NLP model will be trained differently. But for this BERT, what's good about BERT is that BERT gives you a very good foundation, so that if I want to pick a certain specific topic here, like say if I want to go deeper into data science, for example, I will be very easy to pick up the specific terminology, for example, like XGBoost, variance bias, like all gradient descent, like all those specific terms. And this BERT model do the same thing. So what I do with this is I use this BERT whole pre-trained. I don't do anything. I just take it off. Google, make it available. I use it. And I added a layer on top of it. We call it a classifier layer, put it on top of it. So that in the end, if I put an input like this, I always return to your website for comprehensive and well-researched information about health. If I put this feedback into this two thing that I put together here, the output, it will be able to tell me right away, like how likely will this feedback is mentioning about Healthline brand. Okay. So by using BERT, I got to a very, very encouraging result. So this is the accuracy of the model. The model has the average accuracy of 75% across all category, with the highest accuracy falling into brand of 93%. Like they are very sure that if there's a feedback that mentioned about Healthline, 93% of the time it predicted right that okay, this is a feedback meant for health, meant for Healthline. With the worst performing one is the negative feedback is 60%. However, we discussed this, like we discussed this with the editor and the business team. We show them a few of the example of how it looked like when we are trying to validate the result of the model, and we deem this as reliable and good enough for our actually use case. So now, after finding the right model, agreeing with our stakeholder that this is the thing that we are going to go with, we need to start building out the dashboard that is the main thing that our business team care about. They don't care about like what do I do, like what code that I write or what model that I build. They just care about like how do they how easy for them to use the output of the model. Okay, so this is the product that I gave it to the stakeholder. So this is a very simple and very elegant view. So just by a glance look into this, you'll see right away, okay, in May 2020, we received around 10,000 responses, 10,000 feedback from our audience. 16% of them are negative, 24% of them are neutral, 60% of them are positive. Okay, so that's like, okay, maybe this is a good year, maybe this is a bad, good month or bad month, we don't know. So if you look at to the second graph that we have down here, you can see that right away, how is it comparing, how is May comparing to all the previous month. This is just an average score that we calculated based on the sentiments of all of the feedback that we receive for the month. And if you just take a look here at this trend, you'll notice something. There's something wrong in November 2019. I don't know what's wrong, but there was a dip here. So maybe this is an area, these the articles that we generate within this month may have, I don't know what, but something that the editor team should look into it and learn from it. This is not a dashboard, like this is not a, this is just a slide, a photo that I took out the real dashboard. But on the actual real dashboard, you can click onto each of these month and drill down into, okay, if you click on this month, you'll see all the article showed up for that. You can filter out for all of the positive or negative comments that you're looking for about brand, suggestion, whatever. And then you can go from there and do your analysis and figure out, okay, what area should we be improving here so that we can make the month of November have a better sentiment score. Another cool thing with this dashboard is the last part here. What is it? So if we have an articles, on that articles, we receive, say, 100 feedback from all the audience. And if 20% of those 100 feedback, like 20 feedback, if 20 of them are negative, then that article will show up here right away. So it's just a very easy way for our editors team to spot right away. Okay, in this month, in May, we have these 3 articles. Something is wrong about it. Maybe it can be, maybe the article is just talking about depression here and people just getting depressed or like, I don't know, it attracts different audience on that, and the comments, the review might not be as positive. Or maybe people were upset because there was something wrong in this article. And I don't have it right here, but back in April last year, when the pandemic hits us, we have an article of how to, when all of the hand sanitizer are all sold out. So we have an article of how to create your own hand sanitizer. And I think we had a few, we made a mistake in the ratio of the mixing, like 1 portion of this, 2 portion of that, and we make it 1, I don't know, like something with that. And just by looking into this dashboard, the editor team was right away realized, oh, we need to update this article right now. And that helped all of the audience that read the article after that don't have to go through, like they are happy with the articles, with the solution that we presented to them. So this dashboard is super, super helpful for our editor. Okay. And then now this is another dashboard that we built. So here we care about the brand sentiment. So like, what do people think about Healthline? Are we doing well? Do people like Healthline? We don't know, right? So the way for us to know is, one way for us to know, like there are many, probably you can do a survey, you can do different things, but one way to see how do people feel about our brand is through the sentiment model. And we have it right here. So we can see it, like its average is around 78, score 78, I think, which is quite good. But then we have a spike in, I don't know, September last year, and then we have a dip. Like, I don't know, something's wrong in November last year. Something went wrong. And then it picked up again in December. Maybe during Christmas time, people are more happy and they might have more time and they come to Healthline more and they like it better. I don't know. But this dashboard help the editor teams to know, to identify, to narrow down, to prioritize which where to look. Like, we know, okay, we should look into this November time, we should look into this like December time. Is there anything different in the content that we generate that we can learn from? Anything here? And these are the 2 dashboards that I showed you. It's just an example of what we can do with the output of the NLP model. Given we can create many more different variation of the dashboard so that it can help the business team. Maybe the business team, they want to work with a Tableau dashboard. Maybe the business team, they want to work with a Google Sheet. Whatever is easier for them, we can be able to help them with that. So two key things. So one is you need to find a reliable model. And second here is that you need to work with the business team to determine what is easy for them to use it, because that is, otherwise then your whole effort is gone, no one using it. So with that said, I have a few key takeaways for the session today. First, there are many models, many techniques outside. And you need to explore all, not all, but you need to find a way to explore and try different model techniques before finalizing on your solution for your particular use case. Each use case is very unique. So it's not like a one fit all thing, and there are tweaks that you need to make. So you should explore it before you finalize on your final model. And the second one, the best solution that you'll find is the one that requires least maintenance. I have this model and I have it running for over a year now, and it rarely fails. Like really, I don't touch it maybe a few times, like 5 times over the last year. So it's great. I like it because I don't have to do anything with it. It runs well, the business team like it, and I'm happy. And lastly, visualization is king. And what it meant here is we have to find a way, the easiest way as you can, the simple, elegant way as you can, so that the business team can use it. And that is what matters. But again, you might think that this is a good solution, but here in Red Ventures, we believe that everything is written in pencil, meaning that if you or another colleague of mine find a better solution, they are very welcome to come and discuss. And if it is actually a better solution, then please feel free to proceed with that solution. We can rebuild a new thing. Thank you everyone for attending my session today. Hope that everyone enjoying it.
Yeah, I think Flora is open to questions. If there are any questions for her, you can use the chat box, or you could unmute your mic and go ahead and ask her directly.
For the BERT model, if you want to read more into the how the Google team built the BERT model, there is a white paper available online. Just search for it, like BERT white paper. You'll be able to find the white paper and read through it. And the code is available on TensorFlow Hub, and there are many resources for you to use it. So it's just a matter of how you adapt to your use case.
Laura, we have a question. So how did you build your trained data set, and how many rows do you need to train this model?
Yes. Okay, so great questions. Normally, like if I'm not using this BERT model, normally not. From my experience, I would. So here we need to build a model to predict 6 categories, right? So each category should have around 1,000 data points. So 6 category will be 6,000 data points, and I don't want that. So I didn't have 6,000 training data set. I don't. What I have, because I'm using BERT here, I only have 125 data point per category. So of all 6, I don't know, is 800 data points in the data set. And the way to develop this data set, I work with the business team and I ask them to go through the feedback that we have, and I tell them, okay, if you care about brand, please give me 125 or like say 200 example of the feedback that met brand, and give it to me, and it need to be viewed in a consistent way. So like I work with the business team and ask them to give it to me for all the 6 different categories. And one key thing is after they create it, you validate it, and you have to make sure that the way that the feedback meant for health, or like the way the feedback meant for a suggestion, it has to be in a similar way, because other people have many ways to write different feedback, and our feedback is like 3-4 sentences, so it has to be in a certain way. So yes, to answer your questions, I think 150 data point per category, and we have 6 categories. Yeah. And another thing is, this is good to build connection with, to build trust with your business team, to make sure that they know, they kind of understand our work at a high level, and to gain buy-in from them, so that in the end they believe that our product helped them and they will adopt it. And that is very important, because without trust, it is very difficult for people to change their current way of work. So it's an ad.
That's a good point. Do we have any other questions? We have another question, Flora. So it's in regard to the previous question that you just answered. So have you used this model for named entity recognition?
What do you mean by named entity recognition? So I use this BERT model. Okay, so there are many different pre-trained models. For this particular use case, I just find that BERT works best. And what's great about this is it is best for you for classification problem, text classification. So if you want to classify a certain sentence according to a certain category, you can use BERT for that. But if there are other use cases where you don't need to classify a certain thing for a certain, like if you just want to understand what is the meaning of this and how similarity between the two sentences to each other, there are other pre-trained models for you to use. BERT might not be as good as comparing to other models. I haven't tried this for the named entity one. I saw Martha has a question about what changes have the writer at Healthline made as a result of this model output? So this is a great question. So for Healthline, we generate hundreds of articles every day, and they have a whole process of they write new articles, and then they have a process of going back to the previous article and make change to those. And so far, we saw that every month around, I think around 10 articles or so, depending on the month, like maybe 10, 15 articles get updated. Like they spot it through this process and they updated it. And then the way that we measure the impact, our impact, data science impact on the model is that we want to see how much does it increase in how much more people are viewing this article and bringing more revenue back to Healthline. Yes. So I talked to the business team and they were very happy. It was a good project. Our team, our editor team and business team was very happy with the output of the model that we gave it to them. It made their life very easy. And before they used to spend around, I'd say like 16 hours every 2 weeks to look through all the comments and then flag it and then give it to the editor teams. Now it took them like an hour to do their work. So it's good. And they still use it today. So that's good. Yeah, it took me quite some time to look through all of the natural language processing technique and get to this BERT model. So I would encourage, if anyone is curious into this topic, there are many resources out there for you to explore and read it. Have the open source tool to build the dashboard? I think yes, of course. I think you can use so Google. They have a Google Data Studio, which is like similar to. I think it's similar to Tableau. I think Tableau may have a free version too. I'm not sure, but I know that Google Data Studio is also available for you to use, and it's not as nice and as flashy as Tableau, but it's good. It's good enough for you to create your own use case and to demonstrate what you can do with it. And I say that it's a very powerful tool. You can show meaningful results depending on how you structure it. But yes, there was a lot of thought was put in developing that dashboard too, that I showed you too. So, any other questions?
I think we're almost ending the session. So if there are any last questions, we have one. So why do you think the model accuracy was lower at classifying negative sentiments?
Yes. there are, I know. So, okay, so this is the main thing. People have many ways to write a negative comments. Like people are very sarcastic in the way of writing it. And the model might, like, so first of all, we don't have as I don't know, people are more creative with negative comments. So we don't have like a consistent way of how people write a negative comments about a certain thing. If you compliment someone, it can be consistent. Like it is kind of similar in how you compliment someone, but in terms of like criticize someone, people get very creative. So I'd say the main thing for that one is like people are very creative in their negative comments. And that is like one of the drawback of machine learning model. You don't know, like I saw many bad people. Yeah, it's just people are very creative. Thank you, Megan. How did you create topic and which tool you used to do? So topic, maybe you meant the categorization that I mentioned about like brand suggestion. So those I work with the business team and the editor teams to narrow down what is it that they are looking for, what is meaningful to them, what will help them to perform their work better, and we narrow down to this many topic. And I use so Python to build this, but then to deploy this whole solution, and we just because of the way that Red Venture is structured, I put it in Databricks, and I create a job on Databricks and deploy it on a daily cadence, and then write out the output into BigQuery, and then Tableau dashboard read the output from BigQuery.
Thank you so much, Flora. Thank you so much for joining us and giving all of us an informative session. And we look forward to celebrating more women like you every day.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for attending my session today. Hopefully you will learn something new. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Yes, we did. Thank you.